All right, so you're thinking about moving to Huntersville, North Carolina, but you're not sure if it's the right fit for you. Today, we're going to break down the pros and cons of living in Huntersville, North Carolina. Hey, my name is Austin, and I make videos about what it is like to move to or live in the Lake Norman area of North Carolina. And today we're going to discuss the pros and cons of Huntersville, North Carolina. And we're going to get right into it with number one, and that is going to be the lifestyle and vibe. Now, when I talk about the lifestyle, Huntersville has some great amenities. You're really close to Lake Norman. You are really close to the Lotta Nature Preserve. And on top of it, you have some great shopping in the Birkdale Village and in the surrounding area as well. Now, another bonus of Huntersville is that you literally border Charlotte, okay? You're really close to the mall in Charlotte. And on top of that, you're pretty close to the shops and restaurants that Charlotte has to offer as well. So the lifestyle in Huntersville, you're gonna see a lot of outdoor activities. You're really close to a lot of things, again, like the Lotta Preserve, which has fantastic trails, kayaking, fishing. You're gonna see horse riding there. You have access to pickleball, a lot of different areas to go golfing, play tennis. So Huntersville offers a fantastic lifestyle. Now with that pro, let's get into our first con, and that is gonna be that Huntersville has a lot of growing pains right now. Now what I mean by that is that there are a ton of people moving to the Lake Norman area and to the areas around Charlotte. And you're gonna see a lot of new construction. You're gonna see a lot of development with commercial properties as well. And really, you're gonna see an uptick in the amount of traffic just because there are a lot of people moving here and the infrastructure still has not really quite met the demand. Now, a lot of Huntersville still feels like old-timey. Now, what I mean by that, it still feels like there are a lot of homes in Huntersville that are from the 50s and 60s and 70s, a little older, larger lots, but to mix that in, you're gonna see a lot of new construction communities. And with that growth, you're gonna see a lot more traffic in other areas too, like at the Birkdale Village. It gets extremely busy there, especially on the weekends, Friday night, Saturday night. I mean, there's a ton of restaurants, a ton of shopping that you can do there. And it's one of those places that will draw in crowds from the neighboring towns as well. You're gonna see a lot of people coming down from Mooresville, Troutman, Statesville. And this is just because that Birkdale Village in Huntersville, it's a really good time, especially in the morning too, on the weekend. They offer a lot of different amenities as far as shopping and some fantastic restaurants. So you're gonna see a lot of different people come to these areas. And with the new construction, the growth has just made the amount of people going to these areas a lot. All right, pro number two, and that is just gonna be access to outdoor activities. Now I did hit on this a little bit in pro number one, but I do want to cover the Lotta Preserve more, okay? It is a fantastic place. Now the Lotta Preserve is not actually on Lake Norman, which is what my main channel's focus is about. And what you're actually gonna see is that Huntersville, albeit just north of Charlotte, is on Lake Norman, but the Lotta Nature Preserve is actually on Mountain Island Lake. So there's two lakes that Huntersville kind of winds right in between. Now in that preserve, again, you're gonna see a lot of horse riding. You have a ton of different trails, okay? You can go hiking, you can go mountain biking, you can go kayaking. Now, Huntersville has 4 boat launches on Lake Norman. That area is fantastic if you're trying to get on Lake Norman with your boat or your jet skis, but keep in mind that it does get pretty busy there in the summer. So Huntersville has fantastic access to 2 different lakes, great areas to be outside, and it's really just where an outdoor vibe meets a great place to go shop and go have restaurants. So if that's something you're looking for a little bit of both without having to travel, Huntersville is gonna be fantastic. All right, let's move into our next con, and that is gonna be traffic. Now, the one benefit of Huntersville is that it is bordering Charlotte, okay? It is just north of 485, which is the outer loop of Charlotte, and you're typically gonna see about a 25 to 30 minute commute into downtown Charlotte, depending on where you're going, and if you wanna take that toll road as well. Now, usually around the I-485 junction is where traffic starts to actually break up. It starts to get a little better in Charlotte, and then it starts to build up again as you get further closer to the city. So that usually is just because the I-77 the major interstate that runs right through Huntersville going north to south, is 2 lanes until it gets to Huntersville, where it opens up into 3 lanes. All right. If you are a commuter going into Charlotte, Huntersville is going to be a great place. It's only about a 25-minute drive on a bad day. All right. Now, on a good day, you may be able to get there a little bit quicker, and that just depends on where in Charlotte exactly you're going as well. And I will add, with commutes, now this isn't necessarily a commute, but if you are planning to go to that Birkdale Village on a weekend, it's going to be tough to find parking. It's just really busy. There's a ton of people that go down there. They do offer valet, but if you don't want to use the valet, it may take you a few extra minutes to find some parking. All right, pro number 3 is actually going to be a housing variety. Now, there are a ton of people moving here. We have a lot of communities with just large lots, small ranch style homes. You're going to see some 1990s built homes. You're also going to see a lot of new construction. You're going to see a lot of luxury construction, and even some like golf course luxury as well. Now, you're typically going to see like a 3-bed, 2-bath home in Huntersville around $400,000 to $450,000. Okay. And these new construction communities, there are some that are well over $1 million, $1.5 million. And there really is just a good variety of options in Huntersville. I will say, I feel like the majority of the homes, at least closer to the center of Huntersville's downtown, you're going to see a lot of those older ranch style homes. And as you venture out further away from the center of town, maybe closer to Charlotte or a little bit further west towards the lot of Preserve, you are going to see some more luxury style homes, some larger lots. If you're looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath new construction home, if you're looking for a home on 1 acre, if you're looking for maybe a little bit of extra land to have some farm animals, you're going to see a lot of these in Huntersville. Right? There's a ton of variety. All right, con number 3, and for me, that is that Huntersville's downtown, it's kind of lacking. I wouldn't say it lacks character, because it does have character, but it hasn't kept up with the improvements needed for the growth that it has. Now, what I mean by improvements is if you compare it to a place like Davidson, with Davidson College. Now, Davidson is an incredibly walkable town, whereas Huntersville feels a little bit more like a car-dependent town. There is not a lot to do in Huntersville's downtown area. They have a small Veterans Memorial Park, which does host a small farmers market, but other than that, you have a few shops here and there, and they're a little bit spread out. So what I'm trying to say is if you're looking for a walkable downtown, then Huntersville is not going to be that place. Real quick, if you're new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing, as I am dropping 2 videos per week, every week, about what it is like to move to or live in the Lake Norman area of North Carolina. And as much as I love making these videos, I am a licensed real estate broker in the state of North Carolina. So if you have any real estate needs, I'd love to help you out with those. But with that being said, let's get back into the video. All right, one more thing I'll add, and this is kind of like a pro or a con, depending on your preference, and that is that there are a good amount of homes with HOAs in Huntersville, and there are a good amount of homes without HOAs in Huntersville. Now, if you are looking for a home specifically without an HOA, you are going to be looking further outside the center of town. Now, if you're looking for something smaller, maybe a ranch style home, there is a lot of that in the center of Huntersville, but it is older again. Now, all of these newer communities, including the brand new luxury subdivisions and even the subdivisions in the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 range, all of these new communities are going to have an HOA. Okay, so if you are looking for a home without an HOA, but you want to be in Huntersville, there are options. And if you are looking for a home with an HOA in Huntersville, again, there are going to be options for both of you. Okay. All right. And just lastly, I want to talk about where Huntersville is on the map. Okay. Now, Huntersville sits just north of Charlotte. Again, about 25 minutes-ish to get to downtown on a weekday. Now, it does sit just south of Lake Norman. If you are looking to be close to the airport, but you want to live in Huntersville, the airport is only about a 25-minute drive. I'd give or take 10 to 15 minutes on days if you're trying to make a flight during rush hour. But other than that, you are really close to Charlotte, close to the airport, and you're close to the lake. If you're looking for shopping, there is plenty of shopping. There's plenty of grocery stores. There is a Whole Foods in Huntersville. So if you're looking for a Whole Foods, if you're looking for a Trader Joe's, you can actually find that down in Charlotte. There are 2 of them. And if you're looking for something like Costco or Sam's Club, it is going to be about 20 minutes moving north up into Mooresville. Now, there isn't a ton of traffic moving north from Huntersville during the evening rush hour time. Okay, so if you live in Huntersville and you work, say, in Mooresville or all the way up in Statesville, which is much less common. Hey all, real quick, as much as I love making these videos, real estate is my day-to-day. So if you have any questions about moving here or you need some local real estate advice, that number that is popping up below is my cell phone number. I am the person that answers those phone calls, text messages, and emails. It's not going to be someone else on the other line. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And with that being said, I want to thank you for watching today's video, and we'll see you in the next one.